Welcome to ACC Student News.
The news students can use. This week's headlines include a new legislation for NIPSCO customers,
as well as a new coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm Londyn.
And I'm Stephanie. Here are this week's stories.
The Indiana Hospital Association has called on local and federal to help address the mounting pressure that hospitals across the state continue to experience amid Medicaid cuts and other systematic issues. Indiana hospitals continue to face obstacles such as a reduction in Medicaid reimbursement rates, operating on thin margins, and navigating the growing cost of medical services and products outpacing projected revenues. The report detailed how hospitals in Indiana are functioning with an operating margin of just 1.9% in 2025, which was below the national median of 2.6% during the same time period. At the same time, Indiana hospitals witnessed a 5.5% reduction in operating income, coming out to an estimated 50 million. Hospitals are expected to reach annual losses exceeding $1 billion within the next 3 to 5 years as well, according to the report.
Scientists using data from NASA's James Webb Space Telescope have made one of the most detailed maps of dark matter ever produced. It shows how the invisible material overlaps and intertwines with regular matter, the stuff that makes up stars and galaxies. The map builds on previous research to provide additional confirmation and new details about how dark matter has shaped the universe. It also explains how galaxy clusters that light millions of light years across the universe create other galaxies, stars, and planets like Earth, found in the constellation Sextans. The area covered by the new map is a section of sky about 2.5 times larger than the moon. A global community of scientists have observed this region with at least 15 ground and space-based telescopes for the Cosmic Evolution Survey. The first dark matter map of the area was made in 2007 using data from NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, a project led by Richard Massey and astrophysicist Jason Rhodes.
So what do you think about space?
I think that space is really interesting, with all the possibilities and stuff. You never know what's out there. You learn something new every day.
Definitely, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
An 80-year-old man was pronounced dead after a reported mobile home fire early Monday morning on the south side of Indianapolis. According to officials with the Indianapolis Fire Department, crews were dispatched to a mobile home fire with entrapment at around 1:25 a.m. When crews arrived on the scene, they found a trailer that was fully involved in fire. The trailer was reported to have partially collapsed at around 1:32 a.m. Officials said there was a report of live ammunition pumping at 1:40 a.m. The department said that the fire was marked under control at 1:51 a.m. The victim, identified by the department as an 80-year-old man, was located at 2 a.m. One dog and one cat were also pronounced dead at the scene. The department said that crews were unable to locate any smoke alarms. The cause of the fire is still under investigation by the department.
6 people died when a business jet crashed during takeoff as a snowstorm moved in and visibility diminished in Maine Sunday night. The Bombardier Challenge 600 flipped over and burned on takeoff at Bangor International Airport around 7:45 p.m. Sunday night as a massive winter storm was beginning to reach the area. Experts say the weather and questions about whether ice accumulating on the wings kept the plane from getting airborne, as happened at least twice before on that plane model, will likely be an initial focus by the National Transportation Safety Board. However, the agency will consider all possible factors. The airport said Monday afternoon there were 6 people aboard, according to the flight manifest, and all died. Earlier in the day, the Federal Aviation Administration had said 7 died and 1 was injured, but warned the numbers were subject to change.
The Eagles are hiring Sean Mannion as offensive coordinator. The team announced Thursday. 33-year-old Mannion has coached for 2 years, originally as an offensive assistant for the Green Bay Packers. In 2024, before being promoted to quarterbacks coach this past season, a former quarterback out of Oregon State. Manning spent 9 seasons in the NFL, including 4 with the Los Angeles Rams, who drafted him in the 3rd round. He learned from coaches including Sean McCabe, Clint Kubiak, and Shane Waldron during his playing days. He was an active player as recently as 2023 with the Minnesota Vikings and Seattle Seahawks. The Eagles were prepared to give the new offensive coordinator full autonomy, but it remains to be seen whether that remains true with the hire as inexperienced as Manning. Stay tuned for more.
Welcome back. I'm Breena.
And I'm Saz. Here are some more stories.
A former deputy from Illinois was sentenced to 20 years for killing and fatally shooting Sonia Mazie, who dialed 911 to report a prowler outside her home in Springfield, Illinois. 31-year-old Sean Grayson was convicted in October. He received the maximum sentence and has been incarcerated since he was charged with the murder. He apologized for the shooting, saying he wished he could go back in time and bring Mazie back. But Mazie's parents and children said that their lives have changed dramatically and demanded that justice should be carried out in her name. Mazie's daughter, Summer, says that 20 years is not enough time. Grayson was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, which could have led to a life sentence, but a jury convicted him of the lesser charge. Illinois allows for a second-degree murder conviction if evidence shows the defendant honestly thought he was in danger, even if that fear is unreasonable.
The Indiana House of Representatives passed legislation on Wednesday aimed at helping residents manage rising utility costs. But NIPSCO customers say this falls short of addressing their concerns about surging gas and electricity bills. The vote came Tuesday as many Northwest Indiana residents say they are struggling to pay high NIPSCO utility bills. House Bill 1002, which focuses on electric utility affordability, passed with support from both Republicans and Democrats. The legislation requires utility companies to offer levelized billing plans to all customers, allowing customers to opt out of payment plans without penalties, and prohibits electric utilities from terminating service during extreme heat when temperatures reach 95 degrees or higher.
Amazon is laying off 16,000 employees, the company's second round of large-scale job reductions in 3 months. Amazon in late October announced it was cutting 14,000 corporate employees following a directive from CEO Andy Jassy's vision of operating like the world's biggest startup. He wants the company to remain alert so it can adapt and change quickly as AI grows more dominant. Layoffs will begin Wednesday across the company. Most employees will be given 90 days to look for new roles initially, while people who aren't rehired at Amazon will be given severance pay and additional benefits, the company said. The layoffs were reportedly announced to staff Tuesday night in a private email. That memo was apparently sent accidentally because it referred to a blog post that wasn't published until Wednesday morning. Amazon separately announced Tuesday it would close its Amazon Fresh and Amazon Go grocery business as it doubles down on its Whole Foods branded stores. I think that's very unfortunate, especially for people who really don't deserve to be laid off.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of makes me kind of scared of like what AI is going to do in the future and how big it's really going to get. Like how many more people will lose their jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
5 dunk hunters in southern Indiana were trying to navigate a river and got their boat locked in the ice. The group had launched their boat in the White River around noon. The hunters were all around 17 to 19, and they launched into the moving water, but the conditions changed dramatically with the air temperature around 12 degrees and snow incoming. The group quickly ran into ice. They were unable to turn around before their boat froze in an ice jam that extended nearly back to back. The DNR, along with other local agencies, responded to the call as fast as they could. Crews rounded up the only airboat in the district, plus a hovercraft for backup. Rescuers put in the downstream of the stranded hunters, but even that effort seemed doomed when the boat froze to its trailer at the boat ramp. It took chains and 2 trucks accelerating in opposite directions to yank hard enough and break the ice fusing the vessel to its trailer. It took 3 hours to move them and their gear from the John boat to the airboat and then back to land, luckily. Luckily, they were dressed for bad weather and no one suffered hypothermia and no one went to the hospital. Their boat, however, was still stuck in the ice as of Tuesday and it will probably remain there for weeks.
Jennifer Jimenez, a longtime band director at a Miami high school, has been named the winner of the 2026 Music Educator Award. The Recording Academy and Grammy Museum's annual award celebrates American music teachers and emphasizes the hard work and respect that goes into any musical performance. Jimenez jokes that giving her students the freedom to choose their own music revolutionary in the world of band. Her students love her, saying that she lets them tell their stories with music and sees potential in everyone, always encouraging them to try their best every day. Jimenez's students say the band room has become a safe space for them, with one former student even saying it changed his future, saying that if it wasn't for Jimenez, he probably would have dropped out of high school. Today, Jimenez is exposing hundreds of students to a world where excellence is a choice.
That's all we have for this week.
Make sure to tune in next week for more student news.
The news students can use.